Hey everyone, thank you for joining us. My name is Keith Carson. Tell you a little bit about myself. I started coaching baseball nearly 20 years ago while I was still a player at Sacramento State. I most recently was with Better Baseball Training, and previous to that, I worked as both a coach and as the director of operations at California Academy of Baseball. Again, thanks for coming. So we've gathered you all here today to fill you in on some extremely revolutionary information about the game of baseball, specifically regarding the art of hitting. Today I'm looking forward to introducing you to information that's very much in its infancy in the game, even at the major league level. However, it's appearing undeniable that this is about to take fire and completely overhaul how hitting is taught everywhere, from major league organizations all the way down to the youth levels. Oh, and I also plan to fill you in on what three-gear hitting is and what it has to do with this revolutionary information. See, right now, if you follow Major League Baseball at all, you've seen how technology has greatly changed the way teams play. The use of analytics and data have led to dramatic changes in nearly every part of the game, from where defenders play from batter to batter, to how managers write their lineups, and even the types of players scouts look to sign. One technology, however, that doesn't really get much credit for baseball's revolution is the use of very slow motion, high frame rate cameras. These allow us to see each slight movement of the game's most effective hitters, from the first movements their hands make to which muscles of their back and hips they use to create the necessary tension in their body to generate the power they need to drive the ball. Using this technology, experts were able to decode the specific movements a hitter uses but are not immediately apparent to the naked eye. And surprisingly, what was revealed was that much of what we've been taught about hitting our entire lives was actually not the most sound or efficient way of doing it. Amazingly, even some of the best hitters themselves weren't aware of these subtle actions they were making that were leading them to succeed at such a high rate. When asked, they would often even describe specific movements they thought they were doing. However, slowing it down showed they were actually swinging differently than they claimed. This difference is often referred to as feel versus real. As strange as it might sound, what players feel like they're doing isn't always what they're really doing. This has led to some of baseball's greatest minds to reverse engineer these swings and determine a specific pattern of movements to make in a baseball swing to hit the ball harder and farther at the most consistent rate possible. And players who have started consciously swinging using this pattern have seen extraordinary results. Some have even dramatically altered their career paths. So I'm sure you're asking yourself, what exactly are they doing? Well, this recently detected method I refer to is known as the HLP, or high level pattern. Now, to be clear, we didn't invent the concept of the HLP, but rather specifically my partners, Ben Kornfield and Brian Schmidt, have become pioneers in the study of it, developing drills and techniques to best train a player how to create the muscle memory to replicate this pattern consistently and effectively. And I can tell you, coming from someone who's been around and studied the game nearly their entire life, I was skeptical of the HLP at first. I mean, it's hard to believe that the methods I've been taught my entire life and even heard pro guys talk about might not actually be the best way to do it. However, I opened my mind and really took a deep dive into what happens with the baseball swing. And with help from Brian and Ben, I realized this is the future of the game, and it needs to be presented to everyone and taught to youth players so they can learn it right now, so they can start creating the proper muscle memory to swing in the most optimal way possible. Now, I'm still learning, but from my perspective, I can summarize what the HLP does with 3 key points. First, it teaches players to use their big muscles to create more bat speed and in turn hit the ball harder and for more power. Second, it helps the player get the path of their bat on the correct geometric angle in order to have the most success, meaning a hitter's swing wants to match the path of the pitch. This is a proven scientific fact. And third, it allows the barrel to get into the zone sooner and stay there for a longer period of time, greatly increasing the rate at which a player can have clean contact or barrel the ball, as you'll hear us say. In addition, by getting your barrel in the zone earlier, It allows for contact to be made deeper. Deeper contact means you get to see the ball for a longer period of time and increases a hitter's chance to identify the accuracy and even movement of a pitch. So those are just some really general descriptions of the benefits of the HLP. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Ben and Brian, and they'll take you through a more detailed description as well as show you a couple of the many drills they've developed to train players on how to perform the HLP.